Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's session. Today we will go for Chemistry Paper 4 for 2025 major. Paper 4, Variant 3. Let's go. First question. A list of substance is shown. Answer the questions using the list of substance. Each substance may be used once, more than once, or not at all. State which of the substance is a compound which have giant covalent structure. So giant covalent structure, we know diamond. We also know graphite. We also know silicon 4 oxides, but here they request for compound. Graphite is element. It only comes from carbon, so we cannot choose graphite. We can only choose silicon 4 oxide. Next is an unsaturated hydrocarbon. Let's check where are hydrocarbon. Not this, not this, not this, not. This is not hydrocarbon because I have OH. These two are hydrocarbon, and then alkene group have double bond. So unsaturated must be alkene. Propane is saturated. Next is an amphoteric oxides. We know it's the aluminum oxides. Group 1, group 2 is alkaline oxides. Aluminum oxides is amphoteric. Then group 4 to group 7 will form acetic oxide. Next is a good conductor of electricity when solid, usually metal, but we don't have the option of metal here, so we choose graphite because graphite is the non-metal that can conduct electricity because of the freely moving electron between the layers. Next, contain simple molecule with 9 atoms. Let's check these two. Prop means C3. According to alkene group, it is CnH2n. Here we'll have H6. So total have 9. So we can confirm is propene. Alkane, it is CnH2n plus 2. So it's 11 atoms. And here, other than this, you can also choose ethanol, CnH2n plus 1 OH. It is C2H5OH. Ethanol also have 9 atoms, so you can choose from propene or ethanol. F. React together to form slag in blast furnace. When we are dealing with the iron ore, we will use coke to extract the oxygen out. Meanwhile, we will add calcium carbonate. After thermal decomposition, will form calcium oxide. Calcium oxide will react with silicon 4 oxide to form slag. Next, belongs to homologous series, which general formula is CnH2n plus 2, so we know it is alkane. So choose propane. Then it's manufactured by catalytic addition of steam to ethene. So after we add steam, which is H and OH, H and OH will attach here. Then it will form ethanol. Next is a gas approximately 78% in a dry, clean air. It's nitrogen. It's the highest percentage in dry, clean air. Question 2. Atoms are made of electron, neutron, and protons. State which of these particles are found in the nucleus. So which means you need to tell me everything that inside nucleus is neutron and proton only. Make sure you show me both answers. If you only tell me one of it, then it's wrong. B. Atoms of the same element are called isotopes. We have S32 and S34. Table or below to show the number of electron protons in one atom or ions of this isotope. We know this sulfur have 16 protons. This is an atom. Proton number and electron number would be the same. And then the neutron would be the balance of it. 18 neutrons. How about this? We know S16 have 16 protons. And then it add 2 more electrons. That's why it will be 16 plus 2, 18 here. And then the number of neutron will be 32 minus 16. So it will be 16 neutron for this. Table 2.2 shows the relative masses and the percentage abundances of the 2 isotopes in a sample of sulfur. The relative mass of sulfur 32 have 95%, 34 have 5%. So we use 32 times 95% plus 34 times 5%. In calculator, you get 32.1. They say 1 decimal place, so make sure your answer is only 1 decimal place. Part 3. The relative atomic masses of all elements are compared to one atom of isotopes. So we are comparing with carbon 12. This is the standard that we always use. See, ions are atoms or group of atoms that have gained or lost one or more electrons. An oxygen atom have the electronic configuration of 2, 6. Give the formula of one atom and one positive ions that have the same electronic configuration as O2 minus. O2 minus means it adds 2 more electrons. At last, the electron configuration will be 2, 8. What is the atom that have 2, 8, which means 10 electron, which is neon? And their request for the formula, so please don't write NEON, is not fulfill what the question asks. Next is the positive ion. So we know positive ion that will lose electron can be these, or these. Sodium will lose 1 electron to form Na+. Magnesium will lose 2 electrons to form Mg2+. Aluminium will lose 3 electrons to form aluminium 3+. Any of these 3 answers will do. They only request for one of the ion, so you just choose one from it. Question 3. The question is about zinc and the compound of zinc. Zinc is held together by electrostatic force between particles. Name the type of bonding in zinc. In any metal, the attraction forces, the type of bond is always metallic bond. Next, name the 2 types of particles held together in metallic bond. So metallic bond, for example, zinc here. When all the zinc atoms is close to each other, the outer sharp electrons will come out and form the electron C. Atom itself will change to positive charge ion. So that's why the 2 types of things is positive ions and also electrons. The attraction force between this negative charge electron and positive charge ions will cause this electrostatic force. Name the type of particle whose movement allows zinc to conduct electricity. Obviously, is electrons. B. Zinc is present in alloys such as brass. State the meaning of terms alloy. Alloy is a mixture of a metal with other element. It can be other metal or it can be carbon. B2. Name a substance that is present in brass other than zinc. It is copper. C. Zinc sulfide crystals are made by the reaction between zinc carbonate and dilute sulfuric acid using the following step. This is solid, this is aqueous. So as long as we have excess of this solid, we can form pure zinc sulfate by filter out zinc carbonate. So to ensure dilute sulfuric acid is used up. So step 1, excess powder zinc carbonate is added to dilute sulfuric acid, separated by filtration, heated until saturated solution is formed, cool and crystalline, remove and dried. So give 2 observations which shows zinc carbonate is in excess. When you put zinc carbonate in dilute sulfuric acid, it will dissolve. But when it is excess, solid will stop dissolving. This process, they use carbonate, it will release carbon dioxide gas. When it's already in excess, then no more bubbles. And the filtrate in step 2. So after filter out, it will remove the excess zinc carbonate and left the aqueous zinc sulfate. 3. Name a compound other than zinc carbonate that can be added to dilute sulfuric acid to produce zinc sulfate. So we know other than zinc carbonate, it can also use base, which is zinc oxide or zinc hydroxide. So we just name here zinc oxide. Part 4. State what is meant by the term saturated solution. So saturated solution is a solution already contain the maximum concentration of solute dissolved in the solvent at a specific temperature. At a specific temperature, because when temperature change, the solubility will change also. Number 5, step 1 is repeated using large pieces of zinc carbonate instead of powdered zinc carbonate. All other conditions are the same. The rate of reaction decrease. Explain why the rate of reaction decreases, give your answer in terms of particles. They have specifically asked you to talk about particles, so make sure you explain based on it. First, because of the large piece of zinc, the surface area of zinc carbonate is smaller, then it will cause the frequency of collision of particles. The request for particles, if you do not mention about particles, they don't give you mark because you do not follow the questions that they ask. Number 6, hydrated crystals form in step 4. State what is meant by hydrated. Hydrated is a crystal when it chemically combined with water, then we call them hydrated. Question 4. This question is about compound of sulfur. Sulfuric acid is manufactured in 4-stage process. They are very good. They give you all 4 steps. First step, we use sulfur plus oxygen to form sulfur dioxide. And then sulfur dioxide react with oxygen again to form sulfur trioxide. Then sulfur trioxide react with concentrated H2SO4 to form oleum. Then oleum react with water to form concentrated sulfuric acid. So first question, iron pyrite is an ore containing sulfur. The ore contains compound with the formula of FeS2. This react with oxygen in air to produce SO2. So they ask you to balance. We check. Oxygen is the only element, so we do it last. We do Fe first. So Fe here have 4. Here must have 4 also. So I times 2. After here already fixed, then we know here sulfur have 2. This sulfur also need to have 2, so we put a 2 here. And then here oxygen left 4, here oxygen have 6. And they are fixed, so we have 10 oxygen here. Here also need to have 10 oxygen. Then the equation is balanced. Part 2. Complete the dot and cross diagram in figure 4.1 to show the electronic configuration in oxygen. You show outer shell electrons only. So we check back oxygen is 8 proton or 8 electrons, so it's 2, 6, which means it need to share 2 electrons. So each of them need to share 2 electrons. So after share 2 electrons, we left 4 more electrons that is not sharing. So at last you have 6 cross and 6 dot, and make sure the 4 of them is in the middle. B1, state 3 typical conditions for the reaction between sulfur dioxide and oxygen. This process, they need to have high temperature, pressure, and also catalyst. We need to list down all of them. Temperature is 450 degrees C. Pressure, you can write 200 kilopascal or 2 atmospheric pressure. Last, catalyst, we use vanadium 5 oxide. So all these 3 conditions correct, then you score full 3 marks. Number 2. Write a simple equation for reaction that happen in stage 2. So we know sulfur dioxide react with oxygen to form sulfur trioxide, and make sure you balance it. Write the simple equation for reaction in stage 3. So we know sulfur trioxide plus concentrated H2SO4, and then the thing that you form is H2S2O7. So this is the oleum. Part 3. Sulfuric acid react with carbon. The equation for the reaction is shown. Give the oxidation number of carbon C, which is an atom. The oxidation number is 0. How about CO2? We know each oxide it is -2, so we have -4. So this must be able to balance with it, so must be positive 4. Make sure you show its positive charge. Question D. Dilute sulfuric acid react with sodium hydrogen carbonate to produce carbon dioxide as shown in this equation. They give you 4.2 grams. This is added to excess dilute sulfuric acid. Calculate the volume of carbon dioxide measured in RTP. First step, calculate the number of mole of NaHCO3 in 4.2 grams. Give you molecular mass. To find the mole, it's just mass divided by molecular mass. So you get is 0.05. Next, deduce the number of moles of CO2 that are produced. We already know here is 0.05. When you get this, we know their ratio is 2 to 2. So here 0.05, here also 0.05. Next, calculate the volume of CO2 produced in cm cube, and they tell you 1 mole of gas occupied this cm cube in RTP. So we just use this times this, 1200 cm cube. Let's go to question 5. They say ethanoic acid is manufactured in the reaction between methanol and carbon monoxide. An equilibrium mixture is produced. State 2 characteristic of equilibrium. Equilibrium means that the forward and reverse reaction have the same rate and the concentration of the reactant and the product are constant. So these two are the criteria for equilibrium. They always like to test you whether you know about this. Next, both a high yield of ethanoic acid and high rate of reaction are needed. We know yield is based on the equilibrium. It will affect by temperature and pressure. And then rate of reaction will affect by temperature, pressure, concentration, catalyst, and also size if it's a solid, concentration if it's a liquid. And then they say the reaction is carried out at 300. Forward reaction is exothermic, which means it will release energy. Say the disadvantages of using a temperature below 300. Temperature low, rate of reaction decrease. And what is the disadvantages when above 300 degrees C? It's because of the forward reaction is exothermic. So when it's go to the right, which means the product will release heat. And if you increase temperature, they will cause the temperature too hot. That's why they do not favor this direction. They will try to shift back to the left and reduce the yield of product. So this is the problem. Number two, complete table 5.1 using only words increase, decrease, or no change. Since they talk about catalyst and pressure, we need to check the number of mole. We refer back to the equation. For catalyst added, the equilibrium is no change because the equilibrium will only affect by temperature or pressure only. How about if pressure increase, they will favor lesser number of molecules. So we see left-hand side have 2 mole, right-hand side 1 mole. So when pressure increase, they will shift to the right, which means increase the product. How about effect of rate of reaction? If pressure is increased, as usual, it will compress and cause the rate of collision between particles increase. That's why it causes the rate of reaction increases. Part 3, suggest which element from the list is suitable catalyst. We know catalyst is only comes from transition element, which is here. So you check back, aluminium is group 3, carbon is group 4, cobalt is here. Magnesium group 2, sodium group 1. So we choose cobalt because it is transition element. So transition element, other than they can suit for catalyst, it also forms colored ion. That's why you have Fe2 plus and Fe3 plus, green color and brown color, and Cu2 plus is blue color, and also it will form various oxidation number. It's special for transition element. Part 3, ethanoic acid is member of carboxylic acid. Name the carboxylic acid that contains 1 carbon atom. 1 carbon atom means mix. Acid means ethanoic acid. So it's methanoic acid. State the molecular formula of carboxylic acid that contains 4 carbon molecules. So you can use the general formula, CnH2n plus 1, COOH. 4 carbons, so here already have 1. Here confirm 3, C3H7, COOH. But they ask for molecular formula, means how many carbon, how many hydrogen, how many oxygen. So we count, C have 4, H have 8, O have 2. This is the molecular formula. Or you can draw it out and then count one by one. You can count like this also, no problem. Draw the display formula of the ester which contains 2 carbon atoms, 1 carbon acid and 1 carbon alcohol. So the acid will be C double bond O OH. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here must be alcohol OH. After we draw the acid and alcohol, we can remove the water H2O and then we join them together. So this is the display formula of ester that contain the 2 carbon atom. 2. Propylbutanoate is an ester. Name the carboxylic acid and alcohol. So this represent the alcohol part, which is propan, no. But propanol have propan 1O and propan 2O. If they just propyl, then confirm is the 1O. They need you to indicate it is 1O instead of 2O. Carboxylic acid comes from here, so it's butanoic acid. E. An organic compound has the following composition by mass. We have CHO and the percentage. Percentage can directly represent as the mass. So calculate the empirical formula. We can first find the mole. Use the mass to divide it by molecular mass. Or the number of mole divided by the smallest number of mole, then we can find the simplest ratio. And then since it's not the whole number, so we need to times 2 to remove the 0.5. So we can confirm is C2H10O2. Question 6. The question is about periodic table. State the name given for group 1 element we know is alkaline metal. B, state which group 1 element is least reactive. So we know group 1, they need to remove the outer shell electron. So we know when the distance is further, it's easier for them to remove the outermost shell electron. So the one that hardest to do this will be the smallest atom, which is lithium. Lithium is in group 1 of the periodic table. When lithium is added to water, a chemical reaction occurs. So lithium and water will form alkali. Give 2 observations when lithium is added to water. Can you see not only lithium hydroxide is formed, hydrogen gas is formed also. So one of the observations is confirmed, fizzing or bubbles form. Next is, of course, the lithium will dissolve. And of course, you can say the solid will float because of the low density. Right, simple equation for the reaction. Okay, we already write here. The group 1 element has lower melting point and lower boiling point than transition elements. Describe 2 other physical properties of group 1 element that are different from transition element. So group 1 element, just now we already mentioned, it will float on the water, so it have a lower density. Next, group 1 metal, actually you can cut using knife, which shows that it's a softer metal. So these are the 2 physical properties of group 1 compared to transition element. The group 7 elements are known as halogen. Give the physical state and color of chlorine at room temperature and pressure. So it is a gas. That's why any experiment deal with chlorine gas, we need to put it in fume hood, and the color is pale yellow-green. 2. When chlorine is passed through aqueous potassium bromide, a displacement reaction occurs. The equation for the reaction is shown. Write an ionic equation. Everything that can form ion, we change to ion form. Chlorine is not ion, that's why we remain Cl2. We have 2 potassium ion and we have 2 bromide ion. Here also ion state, 2 potassium ion, 2 chloride ion. Bromine is not ion. Everything same on the left, right, we remove. So this remove, K we remove, then the balance we just copy down. This is the ionic equation for this reaction. Part 3. Iodine and chlorine reacts at high temperature to form iodine monochloride ICl. The equation for the reaction is shown. The structure of molecules involved in the reaction are IICl. All the energy is given. Calculate the enthalpy change using the following steps. Calculate the total energy required to break bond in 1 mole of iodine and chlorine. So iodine is this, chlorine is this. Calculate the total amount of energy released when 2 mole of ICl are formed. So ICl is this, but it's 2 mole. Make sure we use 2 times. To calculate the enthalpy change, include the sign. We just use left value minus right value. You get -44. So that's all for this paper. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment here. See you in the next class. Bye-bye.